Hello, Burnett.
Stacy.
Hello, Lily.
Hi, Grandpa.
Whenever you're going through a moment, you're going through an emotion as well. When it comes to a happy moment, it may be because you got some new shoes. When it comes to an exciting moment, it may be because a new roller coaster opened up at Six Flags. Only for it to be a scary moment when you realize how fast and crazy it is. When it comes to a sad moment, it may be because you broke up with your significant other. That may turn to an angry moment once you realize that that person has been cheating on you with that one person you hate the most, making you want to end the relationship and ending up with some romantic teen drama. There are many moments in our lives that we look back on that we find either embarrassing, funny, or just a good time. And then there's awkward moments where you feel the most uncomfortable, weirded out, and generally do not want to be in this position. Whether that moment lasts 20 seconds or less, it makes your internal and external parts of your body bug out. For today's video, we're going to be talking about awkward moments that many of us have gone through. Let's get things started. Crossing the street with cars waiting. Now, I don't know if it's a personal thing, but I always get twitchy whenever I'm crossing the street with cars waiting to pass by. It's just strange to me crossing the street with all these people inside their cars staring at me. I just have this feeling that one of these people are gonna come up to me in the middle of the night. Especially when you're crossing the street in a populated place. Those are moments that I hate. Especially when you press the button and the light turns red, making all the cars stop, making you able to cross the street with all these people waiting for you to get to the other side. Those moments trip me out because I feel as if those people are glaring at me with their bloodshot eyes. I know one of them is looking at me angrily, wishing they could run over me with their car for making them wait. Yeah, I just don't like crossing the street with cars waiting, you know? It just feels as if the world is staring at me. Speaking of staring, eye contact. Now, eye contact has always been awkward. Staring at their eyes just makes you feel all fidgety. It makes you feel as if a jump scare is gonna happen. Not to mention, but it's just so unnecessary. Like, I don't need to look at your face whenever we're talking. I just need my ears to listen to what you're saying. Just because my eyes are looking at the sky doesn't mean your words are going through my ear. Like when eye contact comes to a conversation, especially a presentation or connecting eyes with a stranger, you just want to get out of it. You just feel as if your soul is getting taken out of your body. Eye contact is a weird moment that you cannot compete with or defeat. It's inevitable. Next, we have trying to make conversations. Now, conversations is an important key to life because that's how you get to socialize with many people and make friends. You can talk about sports, music, or anything that's happening in the world in your conversations, and you can gain interest or learn something new. However, when it comes to a conversation, people just don't want to talk. They're either trying to get by, get something over with, or don't want to talk in general. And you mainly gain some of these awkward moments whenever you're meeting your new classmates at school or having a barber doing your haircut, paying at the cash register. There are many moments where we get into a situation where you can't make conversation, which leads to silence. And which is even more awkward because you're just standing or sitting there, doing something or waiting silently. It's a predicament that you either can or can't get out, depending the situation that you're in. Like when it comes to talking to a stranger or your friend or your parents or a significant other or anybody, you have two options. You can either stay silent, which you shouldn't, or you can try to make a little to long conversation. There may be times where the conversation goes nowhere or it just stops randomly, but it's better to try to make conversation than just being there staying all silent. Now this might seem out of topic, but I think all of this has to do something with COVID. Because since COVID, I think people are struggling to make conversation after going through an isolating phase during the pandemic. So to sum this, I don't know how long it is, topic up, awkward conversations are only caused if you're not communicating. Next is when you're supposed to go but don't and instead play it off. I might need to explain this one. So one day I felt like going to Chipotle to get some tacos because I never tried them. There was two people waiting in line, and once I got into line, the guy said something like, "For those that don't want rice, please come up front." And the people that didn't want rice on their bowl or burrito came up front. After saying it a few times, I realized I was supposed to go up front because, you know, I was ordering tacos, and you don't put rice on tacos. At least I think. I should have gone up to order my tacos, but at that moment, I felt like I couldn't. Because I thought if I went up to order my tacos, people would stare at me like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you go up to order your meal earlier?" So, you know, I played it off and instead ordered a burrito. And, you know, I want this, that, paid, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Burrito was good. For those that are curious, I did order the tacos a few days later. They were good. Anyways, yeah, those moments where you're supposed to go somewhere or do something, but you don't, and play it off so people won't think you're weird, are mad awkward moments to me. Next, we got bumping into someone. I'm not gonna go in depth of it as this is an obvious one, but one of the times I've gone through this is when I was riding my bike, coming back home from school, and a car was coming towards my direction because the bus was blocking the road. So I had to get on the sidewalk, and I accidentally bumped someone with my bike. I said I was sorry, and he's like, "It's alright," and then I started fumbling for some reason and ended off with I love you. And he was like, yeah. I can already tell he didn't want to be in this position. I probably should have said no homo, but what happens, happens. Anyways, yeah, those moments are really uncomfortable. Especially when you drag it with I love you. Speaking of I love you, acting zesty. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone has gone through a moment where their gender acts all freaky around them. And it can be fun and humorous sometimes until they cross boundaries and they get really freaky and you're out here like, I know we're making jokes about the finger through the hole, but when you're actually trying to do the finger through the hole, it's like, whoa, shit really gives you scars. Next and final one, we got when people are mad at you. This is the most awkward moment I think anyone can go through. And I say that because it's basically being silent and trying to find ways to make a conversation, except you don't understand what's going on or why they're mad at you. And it's mainly with your parents. I mean, it happens with your friends too, but you know, friends come and go. But with your parents, it's like you either gonna make it out alive or you're gonna make it out with belt marks on your body. Like there have been many times that I have with my parents being mad at me. Moments where I know they're mad, but I don't know if I can make a conversation, because I think if I try to talk to them, they're just gonna go on a rampage on me and talk about how I was 2 seconds late to my second period. Talking about how I'm not putting enough effort in my work, or I'm going to the office to fill up my water bottle. I'm not trying to get the chunkla, you know, me being all Mexican. I'm not trying to go through that. However, I'm not trying to go through an awkward moment where I'm sitting there all silently, hoping my parents don't know that I skipped my fourth period, in which I know they know. One of the biggest threats a human being can go through. It's something that you can't escape. It is hell. That sounded so bad. To conclude this video, awkward moments are something that we all hate going through. However, there are moments that we should cherish and try to enjoy, because for the most part, they're nice moments to look back on. Kind of. Not really. Not at all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. I love you. Have a good day and tomorrow, and bye.